Back. Chance here with the virtual Y for your Friday chair yoga practice. Thanks for joining me. Let's get right into it. Have a seat. Find a chair that maybe has no armrest if you have that available. We're going to sit up off the back of the chair so we're not leaning against it. And you want to make sure that your feet can contact the ground. If your feet are kind of dangling, maybe a folded blanket or some place to place your feet on. We turn our attention to the breath, that powerful medicine, that doorway into our inner world. Of all the systems in our body, this is the one system that we can actually do something about. The respiratory system. But it has so many other signals. All of our other systems in our body take their cues from the respiratory system. So breathing deeply is really creating some magic, some intangible stuff. So pay attention to how it feels. We're going to sit up tall, making sure the low back is neither slumped over nor overly arched. We want a long low back, and we want to distribute the weight of our seat equally from left to right. Notice the length of your spine. Relax your shoulders. Maybe a slight tuck of the chin too to lengthen that cervical spine up by the neck. And as we breathe, we're breathing all the way in through the nose and all the way out through the nose. Deeply in and deeply out. On your inhales, try to fill from your belly first. This activates the diaphragm, this dome-shaped muscle that opens the lower chambers of the lungs. Deep breaths in all the way down to the bottom of the belly and letting the lungs inflate all the way up to the collarbones. And on your exhale, keeping the spine long even as the lungs deflate. Deep inhales and deep exhales. Let's just focus on the quality of the breath for the next 5 breaths. Try to create more space in the lungs, using that diaphragm, pulling deeper into the belly from the beginning of the breath, up to the outer corners of the upper lungs toward the end of the inhales, and then on the exhales, a nice smooth deflation of the lungs from all sides. And just observe how it feels in your body. As the breaths grow bigger, longer, and more capable, let's check in on the bandhas, or our internal locks that are going to support the spine through our movements. So the first lock is called the pelvic floor, or the mula bandha, the root lock. This is similar or the same as a Kegel lift, but pulling up on all the soft tissue of the bottom, filling that pelvic cavity upward and inward. The next lock is called the upward flying lock, or the Uddiyana Bandha. We lift this by pulling the belly button in toward the spine, like you're trying to suck your whole belly in close to your spine and up underneath your ribs. This activates a couple very key muscles, the transversus, this corset-shaped muscle around your trunk to support the spine and the organs, but also the multifidi along the back. So you want to pull in on your belly button until you feel something happening as far as squeezing around your spine. These bandhas are going to be used to emphasize the breath and also to support and emphasize the poses, because we don't want to hurt ourselves as we explore ourselves, right? So let's start with some gentle movement. Sitting up tall, those shoulders still relaxed. Let's tuck the chin down to the chest and gently start rolling the head from side to side, right ear toward the right shoulder, left ear toward the left shoulder. We want to connect with that breath all the way in and all the way out, because the breath is the medicine. Don't do anything that hurts. Don't do anything that is completely outside of your comfort zone. What we want to do is be mostly comfortable through all these poses. Much more like a walk around the outer edge of our comfort zone. So we don't leave our comfort zone, but we're definitely aware of where that comfort ends. Patiently, with full awareness, with full attention, breathe abundantly and move purposefully, all observing the sensations of your body. Your next inhale will bring the head up. Let's shrug the shoulders up on the inhales and back and down on the exhales. Already noticing maybe a softening of these stiff corners. Maybe more space with the breath. But we're seeing how the emphasis of the movement comes from the breath. And those bandhas locking and lifting and releasing and observing. It's like an internal massage. Good. Next we'll move into another angle on these shoulders. On your inhale, raise the right hand high. This is one of my favorites. I always try to revisit. Bend your elbow on the right side and bring the pinky side of that right hand in between your shoulder blades as best you can. Not everybody can even reach this far, so just reach toward that area as best you can. And press the back of your head into that forearm and elbow. On your inhale, raise the left hand up and over, capturing that right elbow, kind of assisting that pinky side of the hand into between the shoulder blades. Root down through that right side body and lean the torso to the left. Deep, full breaths. Don't hurt yourself. You shouldn't feel any pain. But we do want to ease our way into a comfortable amount of discomfort. Enough discomfort to know it's there, but not too much discomfort to the point that it's a distraction. Every breath, all the way in and all the way out. Leaning this torso to the left, make sure your low back is still long. Check in on those bandhas. 2 more full breaths here. And press the back of the head against the arm. Nice, full, slow breaths. On your next inhale, we're going to reach both arms wide. Notice if there's any draining or tingliness in those right fingertips. Just take a couple breaths, maybe shrugging the shoulders up, back, and down. Noticing that we've done some work here already. Take time to perceive the work that you've done and know that it's a chain reaction. It's just the beginning, and your body will continue to heal, repair, and unblock in these spaces. So on your inhale, raise the left hand overhead. Bend that left elbow, bringing the pinky side of the left hand to in between the shoulder blades as best you can. Remember, no pain. We don't want to hurt ourselves. We want to meet our body exactly where it's at and heal it with this medicinal breath. On your inhale, we'll raise that right hand overhead. Capture onto that left elbow. Really situate the fingers between the shoulder blades as best you can. Press the back of the head into that elbow or forearm. Ground down to the left side of the seat and lean the torso toward the right. All of your attention comes to the shape of the breath, to the length of the spine, and the use of those bandhas. All the way in and out. With your attentive observation, two more breaths here. Be complete, thorough. On your next inhale, we'll reach both arms wide. Observe how your body is feeling, what messages you're receiving. Take any organic movement that helps you let go. Notice what has shifted in your spine. Big breath. We'll get into the length of the spine here. So for some modified sun salutations, we're going to repeat this motion. We'll go slow the first time. And we'll repeat it, one breath, one movement, to get a little mobility, to get a little more, action through the spine. Because our spine is filled with cerebrospinal fluid, and our actual breathing and using those bandhas is massaging the spine, moving around that cerebrospinal fluid. So just pay attention to the sensations. Don't do too much. We'll bring the hands together at heart center. Try to bring your forearms parallel to the ground. Palms together, fingerprints together. Think about what makes you grateful. Grateful for today, grateful for you, your health, your loved ones, whatever it is that makes you grateful. Maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's an experience you've already lived, maybe it's an experience you haven't lived yet. You can still be grateful for it. On your inhale, we're going to sweep the arms high. Reach through the fingertips, but don't let your shoulders go way up. Keep your shoulders low, but your arms high. On your exhale, let's fold forward, tuck the chin, round through the spine. On your inhale, we'll take a halfway lift, lifting the chest so the spine is parallel to the floor, long from the tailbone out through the crown of the head. Exhale, we'll fold forward, rounding through the spine again, tucking the chin, letting your head go. Inhale, we'll slowly stack the vertebrae all the way back up as we reach high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, sweep arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep arms high. Last one. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. In gratitude. Take a couple breaths here. Reach up tall through the crown of the head. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Maybe roll the tailbone under. Notice if there's any low back tension being revealed. Next, we'll do the outer hips. Cross the right ankle over the left knee as best you can. Not everybody's body moves the same way, and you shouldn't do anything that hurts. But finding a gentle amount of discomfort is good. Observe it. Use the breath to treat these areas. Maybe you can press a little pressure into the right knee to square that shin with the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. And on your exhale, slowly lean forward. Not just dumping, but go slow enough to feel where that comfortable edge is, leading your heart towards your shin. A long low back. And probably some pretty serious activity going on in the right hip. Bring your attention to your breath. All the way in and all the way out. The key here is having a long, low back. And imagine sending your breath, that healing light, that medicine we're creating, to that outer right hip. And your next inhale will come up. And uncross that right ankle. Next, on your inhale, we'll cross that left ankle over the right knee. Be gentle. There's so many joints here. If it's really heavy on that LCL or that outer right knee, be cautious. You don't have to hurt to do any of these poses. And if the pose hurts, skip it. Just focus on your breath. Long spine. You can press a little pressure into that left knee. Lengthen the low back. Big breath in. On your exhale, gently lower your heart towards your shin. Long spine. Check in on those bandhas here. What role do they play? The pelvic floor, the belly button, all very closely interrelated to that outer left hip. The muscles of the iliopsoas, the long ligament of the IT band. Everything's connected. Your next inhale will come up. And uncross that left ankle. Take some organic movement. Notice what's moved around in your low back. We've addressed the whole spine here, the cervical spine up in the neck, the thoracic spine around the shoulder blades, the lumbar spine, and that low back, and moving that tailbone to have a nice contact onto your chair. Let's finish with a twist. Twists are great for digestion, and also just another way of moving the spine. When you imagine your spine twisting like this, your whole spine is wrapped in intricate muscles. So when you twist like that, you're strengthening and stretching these very important muscles. So we'll take the left hand, place it onto your right knee. Take the right hand, grab onto the right side of the chair, and if available, maybe you can use that right hand and capture the back of the chair. Try to point your chin out over the right shoulder. Keep your knees pointed forward. Keep your hips square. And the weight in your seat equal. Breathe for the full length of your spine. Aim for the tailbone all the way up to the skull. And just feel all those relationships between the muscles and the spine. The breath, the bandhas, the pressure. Observing this beautiful twist. All the way in, all the way out with the breath. Supporting a healthy digestive system. And when you're ready, we'll come back to center. Take that right hand, place it onto the left knee. Left hand can come to the left side of the chair. Look out over your left shoulder. Option to place the left hand on the back of the chair if you can reach it comfortably. Make sure the knees are still pointed forward. Glue the seat to the ground. Point the chin out over the left shoulder and relax both shoulders as you breathe deeply. Come back to center. Place the backs of your hands on your knees. We're just going to take a minute. Sitting up tall, grounding down through the seat, reaching up tall through the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders, slightly tucking the chin. Full breaths in and out. Notice what has shifted in your body, what's changed. Maybe it's very subtle and hard to notice. Maybe it's a sense of calmness or completeness, contentment. Maybe it's an area of your body that's still pretty sore that wasn't sore before. You didn't notice how much blockage and tension there was there. Now you're aware of it. Whatever you find in your yoga practice, you never really need to be attached to the outcome. It's about the practice. Fall in love with seeing what's there. And if your body reveals to you that it's very sore and very stiff, then that should encourage you to practice more often. But it's really just a practice of checking in, observing, seeing what's there. Simply by doing so, our body knows what to do to repair, to restore, and that is the chain reaction that we've begun. Your body all day will now have better flow into areas that were otherwise forgotten. So thank you for tuning in. Chance here with the virtual Y, wishing you a happy Friday. Take good care of yourself. Get outside and spread love and appreciation. It always feels good. Thanks again.